Hi, this is Stefan Edwards from eManage One, and today we're going to be doing a video showing you how to process an order and use the Haworth Web Services. I have Clint Nazareno from the System Center, who is a Haworth dealer, and Clint is responsible for processing the orders. We're going to go through the process from as he does it, and the process that he uses for Haworth and a Haworth dealership is going to be almost identical or very similar to one that a Herman Miller dealership would use. So if we could go ahead and get started, and Clint, if you want to just kind of go through the steps on what you do, and I'll just kind of ask you some questions and as we go through this. So thanks for
Okay, sure.
thanks for doing this for us and kind of walking through the process.
It's my pleasure. I work with the System Center. I'm a project manager, so like what Stefan says, I do the ordering. We recently switched over with this web services thing, and I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to kind of show you the different steps. It's fairly new to me. I've been doing it for maybe a week or so with this new web services. So I guess I'll start. Normally every day if there's an order to be placed, I'll go down here into actions to perform. I'll click on that, and then I'll look under the drop down for place order. I'll click on this, and then I'll look, and I have 3 orders that need to be placed. So the order that we're going to be placing today is for project 16605. So I'll just double click this, and it'll launch the project. So right up here I have important project notes for this project. So today's client is paying a 75% deposit. So anything important that needs to be notated on the project will be put as a note so that it pops up and you can see it every time. So as you can see, the action item pop-up window came up, and it has a note from the person that submitted this AI, which was Sylvia. So I guess I'm processing 3 different quotes for this project. As you can see, it also brought me straight into the order entry screen. I just basically I'll read the notes here. I'll make sure that everything matches what we have in here. Then I'll go ahead and I'll check this order entry screen. I'll make sure that it has been processed. So it looks like all of the BOMs are actually, number 1 has been processed, number 2 has been processed, and number 3 has been processed. So that just means that I can continue to my next step, which is to go into modules, and I'm actually going to create the purchase order now. Okay, and then in here there's this drop-down menu.
So when you go into your purchase orders here, okay, so you're going to process, this is the first order that you're going to do, so you're selecting that one.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, and then I normally look up here, there's this little truck icon, and this is where it's supposed to be delivered to. So with Haworth, they take care of all the freight to us, so I'll put our address up here. The requested ship date, so this is basically when we want this to ship out. So I believe all of these are on the standard lead time, which is 20 days, 20 business days, which is 4 weeks. So I'll just go ahead, and today's the 3rd. They probably won't get it till around early next week, so I'll account for that. So I'll actually put it for the 3rd of next month. So that gives us 4 weeks manufacturing. And then we're going to go ship via, and I just do best way. And now this is something that you can change, like if you wanted to have it FedEx direct to your company, or whatever, you can select these different options here. Yeah. The next thing that I do here, mark for, it's just one of my habits. I just put the job, and I'll put 16605 PMRG, and I'm just going to put office furniture. And we can put order number 1. Now another thing that you have to look at in here are these completion tasks. So in here I do have some completion tasks that I need to complete. So one of the first ones is under special instructions. We put no rail, send Zip Express, and this is real important for Hawaii because we send it by rail. It's going to take over a month to get to the West Coast. So I'll just notate that here in the special instructions, no rail, please send Zip Express. And Zip Express is the trucking company that they use.
So on these completion tasks, then these are basically reminders for you to of things that you should be getting done when processing this order.
Yep, that's correct.
And then you just kind of check them off as you go?
Yep, so I just added that special instruction, so I'm just going to complete that task item there.
Okay.
And then so my next step is to generate PO. I'll click that button there. And the system's going to generate a purchase order for this quote.
Okay.
Okay. And then so you can see here it is. Here's the first order. So it's in there. Just make sure again ship to is correct and all of the information translated over. So then at that point this PO is complete, but we have 2 other ones that we have to do. So I'll go back into create purchase orders. And what I'll do is I'll just copy this and then I'll paste it on the next one and just change it to order number 2. Basically the same thing, just changing that, no rail. This is to Haworth also. Same lead time there. Oh, how come these are unchecked?
Oh yeah, it checked the first one off. So the unchecked that
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and I'll change this ship via to the best way, and then I'll click generate purchase orders, and this is for the second order. And it'll do the same thing that it did with the first. So now we have another one in here with Haworth. And then we're going to go ahead and go back to create purchase orders. Well, you should already have it open. I accidentally closed it. But we're going to select the third order. And I'll change this up here to order 3. And then we want to make sure, see how this changed again, we want to make sure that it's the correct ship to. So I'll change that back to the system center. And then in here I'll just type again, you can copy and paste, but I'll just type no rail, please send Zip Express. Okay, and then I'll fill this out with the same date, ship via best way, and I'll go ahead and I'll generate this PO as well. And there it is. So now my next step, and I'll always go back to the action item and make sure that I'm checking things off. So I did that. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the new service, which is under batch entry and Haworth Web Services. I'll go into there, and there it is. There's our 3 orders that I just created the PO for. And so what I'll do now is I'll just make sure that everything's okay. So I'll double click on this one, and I'm going to fill this out. So our bill 2 is going to be System Center, shipping to us, it's being sold to us, and the contract is our standard System Center contract number.
Hey, Clint,
Transaction type. And if,
while you're filling this out, do you have to fill this out every single time you do an order?
Sometimes it'll be filled out already for me, depending on who placed the order. But you don't have to do it every time if it's filled out already by the person that placed it before you.
Right. Okay.
Created it. And then if you notice here, there's these little asterisk stars, so that's a required field. Install that. You don't have to fill that out. So the transaction type, this is a new order. Bill type is going to be for the dealer. Order type, it's a regular order, not a completion order. Submission, normal order. And deliver on, and then we're going to put that requested date, which was March 3rd. Dealer contact, that's who we'll put as our dealer contact.
If you select the drop down up there at the very top, will that fill in the name? I think that fills in the name. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's easy. So
And
yeah, you go ahead and you
yeah, so that checkbox there is the save default for the customer. So this must be a new customer that you guys are working with. So now that you save this, it's saving for the customer, and when you hit save, then it should be saved for the other orders.
Cool.
So
yeah, let's check that.
There.
Yeah, there it is. So we're going to just make sure that it's all filled out again. Mission type is a normal order, deliver on, and we want to put the correct date. And then we'll hit save.
So
we'll go to the last one.
As Clint's doing this, one thing you notice is the checkbox that says OK to go. So basically what's happening is the purchase order will not be, you cannot send it to Haworth until all this information is filled out. And the only 2 variables in here is really the submission type and a requested date, but everything else is going to be the same for this customer, unless they have a new location and so on. So at this point, you're okay to go with processing these orders?
Yeah, so I'm overly cautious. I'm just going to look at this again. Nothing's changed. So we got all 3 of these checked off, okay to go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit upload selected order.
Before you do that, why don't you select all of them at one time?
Oh, right. That's completely right. You have to select all 3, and then you can send all 3 at one time. So earlier I had just number 3 selected, and that would have just sent number 3 off. But you can, see if you have a list here, you can send off as many as you need to. So then you go ahead and you click upload selected orders.
So what's happening here is, as Clint was saying, is you can, the button says upload selected orders. So if you only select one, then only that one selected order. Or if you have 100 orders, you just select them all, and then you click the button to upload selected orders. So and you notice that he clicked that button within a few seconds. It automatically compiled all that data, created an XML in the background, then uploaded it through Haworth's web service, which is basically very identical to the process of a Herman Miller. So the only difference is instead of this says Haworth Web Services, it's going to say Herman Miller Web Service if you're a Herman Miller dealer. So, all right, Clint, is that it? Did you process that order?
Yeah, so it looks like all three of them went through. They disappeared from the list. So what I would actually do.
What about clicking on the current orders now? So what if let's take a look at all your current orders on that tab up there. So what this is every single order that Clint has processed, and you can see right there the three. We're logged in as me. We're using my computer right now, so it says my name. But those three right there have been transmitted. And what will happen is eManage will check on a regular basis the order status, and then it will change that order status. And so if you notice, these are all completed. And what's really nice about this is the completed orders. What that means is they're completed at the factory. So they've shipped out. Now these orders will stay inside of this status until these orders are complete. That we've paid. Clint has been billed for it. System Center's been billed and paid for it, and also they've been paid as well from the customer. But it's a good way to look at the status of the projects. And so, Clint, I get on that next tab, the download and process. Why don't you see if there's any acknowledgments? And basically, what Clint does is just throughout the day. It could be in the morning, afternoon. It could be multiple times a day. Is he just goes in here and clicks on the tab and clicks download. And what eManage is doing is it's going to the manufacturer's website and searching for any acknowledgments. And any acknowledgments, if you're a Herman Miller dealer, it's not only going to add the acknowledgments, but it's going to add the acknowledgments, the shipments, and all the invoices. And then if there were any in here, you just select them, and then you just process the selected. And eManage does all the reconciliation for you with your purchase orders and acknowledgments and invoices and shipment notifications. So anyways, looks like you've processed all your acknowledgments already.
Yeah, nothing's popping up there. So like, I'll check this, once or twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Yeah.
Excellent. So what do you think this process, this web service, now you said you've been using it for about a week, you think this is saving you a ton of time?
I really do. I really think that it's great. I was actually going to go manually on Lynx to check if the order was transmitted, but I can actually just click on this current orders here, and it'll show, so you don't have to look it up anymore. You don't have to log into Lynx and click on order and to see if it's been transmitted. So it says transmitted here, and I guess what I'd actually do is refresh it, and it should actually be confirmed already.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So yeah, so 2 actually fell off, and then I guess this one's still in transmit mode. But if we just scroll down to confirmed, then it should be down there, and here's the other 2 that are confirmed already. So we know that these orders are confirmed and they went through the process, and now we're just waiting for the next step, which is right above, which is getting the PO and getting it acknowledged as well.
Nice.
So this actually does save me a bunch of time because it's just, it's on one screen, and I don't have to search all over Lynx.
Nice. Well, excellent. Well, that's great. Hey, Clint, thanks for sharing and going through your process. One last thing is, now that you process this, what are you doing with that action item?
Oh, yeah. So actually the last step is to actually go in here So the PO was submitted. This PO saved to project docs for our other manufacturers. We also have, other manufacturers that we sell like KI or these other ones. So you can upload that into the documents, the project documents. Lynx order confirmed. So actually, I can't check this off yet because I've only got 2 that are confirmed, and this is the Lynx number here. So we're waiting for that last order to be confirmed by Lynx. So once that confirms, then I'll go ahead, I'll check this, and then I'll also check this off, and I'll submit an acknowledgement confirmation action item for myself. And what that'll do is it'll create a new action item in this category. But it'll create a new action item for me in the acknowledgement confirmation, and it'll have a due date on there that I can set and just make sure that I'm acknowledging this on time and we're staying on our process.
Why don't you refresh real quick and see if that other order confirmed, and then let's, if possible, like to see if can close out that action item and show you creating another action item. I guess what happens now is when Clint completes that action item will send an alert to the person that submitted it and to the salesperson saying that that action item was completed. And then he mentioned about creating another action item for an acknowledgement confirmation, and then that will go into the queue that the salesperson can see that there's an action item. It will also change the status of the project that once he completes this action item, it will actually change the status of the project that it's been ordered. In fact, can you click back on the project real quick, Clint? And so in the status, when he opened this action item, it changed the status of this project to order processing. When he completes this action item, that status will change to ordered automatically. It's not a manual thing to do. But yeah, all right, Clint. Well, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to sit here with you and record this the order entry process that you did. Really appreciate it. And yeah, it looks like you guys are saving a lot of time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is a pretty cool service, and I'm just curious to see what we have in the future.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, Clint.
Thank you.